You know what I'm saying? It's not about your body count. It's about your body account. And a lot of people don't like to admit to that. A lot of people don't like to count that. You know what I mean? And that's just too bad. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make the rules here. I don't make the rules here. You know? Talking about how, you know, we dated when I was 16 and he was 22 and I was a victim. Oh my God. Brandy, we don't believe you. You need more people. Fuck out of here, son. Fuck out of here. You know, we not buying that. We not buying that. You know what I mean? I remember I'm dating myself. I'm so dating myself. I remember my freshman year in high school. Lil' Kim was 16 on that album cover. Foxy Brown had a hit song. She was 16. In the rap videos with grown ass men lusting after her, with her titties out. It was what it was. You know, they say it is what it is. Nah, it was what it was. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of young ladies watching this who are in my age demographic who were dating men old enough to be old enough. You know what I'm saying? Way older than they were back then. You know what I mean? Come on, son. Come on, son. But using the word pray, I don't like that energy. I don't like. What are you insinuating and implicating and implying by using the word pray? Oh, he prayed on her. But I do know what kind of young boy I was at 16, and I do know how the girls were at 16. Let's keep that a bean. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? You know, I remember those days, and I remember there were certain girls you couldn't come next to because they were dating guys older than you. That was a flex. You know, it was very much a flex back then. So to say that he preyed on her, you know what I'm saying? It sounds nasty. It sounds disgusting. Because just because he was older means that he preyed on her? Just because he was older. Now let me get into why we not buying that. Let me get into why we not buying that. So for all the emotional people, all the triggered people, all the traumatized people, they probably done clicked off or swiped off already. It's all right. Let them go. Let them go. Unlock the doors. Unlock the doors. You know what I'm saying? Unlock the doors. Let them go. He was 22. This is what Brandy quoted, not verbatim, but he was 22. She was 16, right? This is the 90s, you know. I remember seeing this growing up. You know, this was a time when it was very culturally acceptable. Maybe not legally, but it was culturally acceptable for older men to date younger women. That was almost trendy. It was a fad, you know, at the time, you know, before this whole Me Too, whatever, you know. I remember even before my time during the crack era in the 80s, there was a teen pregnancy epidemic. It wasn't young boys knocking up these young girls. It was grown men. It was grown men, and it was customary. You reach high school, oh, you know what I'm saying? There was grown men pulling up to the high school, pulling chicks, pulling broads. This was customary. I remember in my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, hearing dudes talk about girls and, you know, saying like, yo, I gotta have me a young one, you know. I remember Jay-Z said, I forget which album it was, Jay-Z, he said it in his raps. No, it was Life and Times Volume 2. That was because that came out my junior year in high school. I'll never forget it. And he was like, give my hoes dick, young hoes pee-pee. You know what I'm saying? It was bars at the time. So you know, this was a thing. And you know, this is a sketchy topic because, you know, there is an air of predatorship. You know what I'm saying? There is an air of predatorship and grooming and all of those things. There is an air of that, right? If you look at humanity, first of all, I know a lot of people have this first world lens that they can only see everything through. And if it's not like if the world doesn't look the way they've seen it in their, you know, a 100-mile radius, maybe, then they can't fathom it. It's just, it doesn't compute. But nothing is new under the sun, really. Nothing is really new under the sun. And older men, for older men, when I say older, I just mean just that, older men are going to be attracted to younger women. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? And this is since the beginning of time. And I'll emphasize younger women, not younger girls. Younger women are just, by nature, they're more attractive, they're more supple, and they're more fertile. That's nature, that's biology. I didn't make the rules here. I didn't make the rules here. What's the song go? How the song go? What's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a, come on, let's sing along now. Sing along. Welcome to my church. You know what I'm saying? 22 and 16, that might be a bit of a maturity. I wouldn't call it an age gap. I call it a maturity gap. That's like a 12-year-old dating a 14-year-old. You know what I mean? Like that's a maturity gap. Let's do the hardest thing for most people to do, is put yourself in other people's shoes. Let's try it. Let's put ourselves in. First of all, let's put ourselves in Wanye Morris's shoes. You know what I mean? 22. You a multi-diamond. You are part of a multi-diamond R&B quartet called Boys to Men. You are traveling the world. Your song gets played on every radio station 100 times a day. Like you are the hottest thing smoking. You could have and probably had any kind of women that you could blink your eyes at. You know what I'm saying? Just falling in your lap. You're that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're it. So you mean to tell me you have all of this at your disposal, and you're going to focus your energy and prey on a 16-year-old fellow R&B singer with a hit TV show? You're gonna put all that energy into her when you have all of this? That you're gonna prey on her, really? Okay, right? Now let's put ourselves in Brandy's shoes. Once again, you're a fellow R&B singer. You're 16. You know what I'm saying? You got hit R&B records, and you have a hit sitcom TV show, right? And your fellow R&B singer walks into the room. You're 16, mind you, raging hormones and all. Your fellow R&B singer walks into the room, and he's that guy. He's a part of a legendary R&B quartet, right? And he's that guy. And he walks into the room. You mean to tell me you're not going to have a twinkle in your eye? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have a twinkle in the eye. But just because you're 16, you're not capable of preying on him? Oh! What are we doing? But now, I'm so sorry. You're the victim. You're just a vulnerable little girl. Like, yeah. Oh my God. Because it's convenient for you 20 years later to throw shade on this man's name because you were having an entire relationship openly with this man. You know what I'm saying? At the ages that y'all were at. It wasn't a one-time incident where he took advantage of you and, imposed his will upon you. And no, none of that. Y'all were having a questionably legal but consensual relationship openly for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? And from the way Wanye described it on the Breakfast Club years ago, the parents approved of it. Like, come on, son. What are we supposed to do with that? But yet and still, Brandy was preyed upon with a track record like this. With an open track record, like with a whole facts report like this, out here in these streets. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen. Wanye need to hire me. Wanye need to hire me, man.